Imagine that you're like a magnet, and the woman you want to attract is the metal. What happens when you place two identical magnets close to each other? They repel, right? But when a magnet encounters something opposite to it, attraction happens naturally. That's the secret to true attraction. Opposites attract. That's nature. And it's exactly what happens in relationships. To create attraction, you need to be the opposite of what she is. In this video, I'll show you through 3 key points how this simple universal law can change the way you understand relationships and attraction. I'll teach you how being the opposite creates a powerful energy that sparks a woman's genuine interest. Topic 1. The foundation. Before we talk about how polarity works, let's dive deeper into the concept. Attraction between a man and a woman works like a magnet. When two magnets have the same poles, they repel. But when a magnet finds something opposite, attraction happens instantly. The same thing happens in relationships. The key to generating real attraction is difference. And this difference between a man and a woman is not just physical, but also in energy, attitude, and most importantly, behavior. When you approach a woman and try to be the same as her, or try to please her at all costs, you create an environment where attraction cannot manifest. That's nature. But don't worry, we're not talking about being fake or forced. On the contrary, let's understand how you can be the opposite naturally and genuinely while still maintaining respect and creating powerful attraction. Topic 2. The mistake 98% of men make. Now let's talk about the mistake most men make. You know that being the nice guy in a conversation or trying to please at all times doesn't work. And here's a very common mistake: trying to be the bad boy, pretending to be someone you're not, and ultimately feeling bad about it. Here's the main point. When you try to be someone you're not, you stop being a leader and become someone without direction. Women, no matter what they say, are attracted to men who have direction, who know what they want, and who are confident in their decisions. This means being confident enough to make decisions that she's unsure about. After all, we're talking about beings that are 13 times more emotional and unstable than men, people who take 3 hours just to choose an outfit. Knowing this, observe her, identify her doubts and insecurities, and be the opposite of that. For example, if you're at a restaurant and she's undecided about what to order, you, as a man, can't afford to be indecisive. You need to take the lead, decide what you're going to order, and act with confidence. When you do this, she will feel that she can trust your leadership and attraction will start to grow. If you don't position yourself, you stop being interesting. Topic 3. The magnet in action. Now, for this topic, I'm going to tell you a personal story that perfectly illustrates the concepts of polarity and the importance of being the opposite. Let's talk about how to apply this in practice. A few months ago, I met a girl on Instagram through a post from a mutual friend. She was very beautiful, exactly my type, so I started talking to her. I had experience with this kind of approach, so I knew exactly how to handle it. But right off the bat, I noticed that she was emotionally unstable, super intelligent, and full of things to talk about, but with a rather volatile temperament. My goal was always to get her to go out as soon as possible, but without seeming rushed because nobody likes to feel pressured, right? So, after chatting for 3 weeks, we finally managed to set up a movie date. I got to the mall early, as usual. She had several complications getting there and was a little late, which caused some tension. Instead of getting in sync with her emotions or getting upset, I simply decided to be the opposite. I calmed her down through messages before she even arrived. I asked if everything was okay, if she needed anything, and what she wanted to eat. I was the complete opposite of what she was feeling in that moment of chaos. I stayed calm, rational. She was anxious, and I was relaxed, taking control of the situation. When she arrived, instead of being bothered or showing frustration, I told her to relax, and we went to the cinema as planned. I was the opposite of her anxiety, and in the end, you already know what happened. The connection was instant. The date flowed perfectly. And yes, it ended very positively. This happened because I was the rational guy, the opposite of her emotions, and that made all the difference. Now look, I'm not saying you need to be cold or insensitive, but being able to control your emotions and show firmness in your decisions is what creates attraction. By being the opposite of what she was feeling, I calmed the situation, took control, and automatically created an environment of trust and leadership. And that, my friends, is exactly what creates attraction. So to summarize, real attraction happens when you understand the importance of polarity. When you're the opposite of what she is, you create this energy that will naturally attract her. It's not about being the nice guy or the bad boy, but about stepping into your leadership, being decisive, and never losing control of who you are. Now, check out the recommended video for more tips like this. See you in the next video.